become the talk of Hollywood, showing Jenna Ortega approaching Rachel Zegler with obvious enthusiasm, only to be completely brushed off as Rachel turns her head away. Jenna is left standing there with an awkward smile, looking utterly helpless. This brief interaction has gone viral because it perfectly symbolizes the drastically different paths these two rising stars' careers have taken. The video shows Jenna, friendly and engaging, trying to connect with her peer, while Rachel coldly turns away, leaving Jenna with nothing but a forced smile. That uncomfortable moment wasn't just about two celebrities having an awkward interaction. It represents something much deeper happening in Hollywood right now. A clash between respecting beloved characters and completely reinventing them for modern audiences. This silent exchange captured on camera perfectly symbolizes the growing divide in how young stars are approaching iconic roles. On one side, there's a philosophy of honoring what made characters beloved, while bringing something fresh. On the other, there's the approach of completely reimagining characters regardless of their established legacy, sometimes dismissing the very elements that made them connect with audiences for generations. This tension isn't just about creative differences either. It's about the fundamental relationship between actors and the fans who support them. Do you acknowledge the emotional connection viewers have with these characters? Or do you tell audiences their nostalgia is outdated and needs correction? As we'll see, this brief moment of rejection between two of Hollywood's rising stars perfectly represents the two diverging paths their careers would take. Let's rewind a bit. Jenna Ortega wasn't always the household name she is now. She'd been working steadily in the industry for years before landing her breakthrough role as Wednesday Addams. Unlike some stars who were handed major opportunities right away, Jenna put in the work, building her resume and honing her craft step by step. When she finally got her shot at playing Wednesday Addams, she didn't just show up for the paycheck. According to insiders, Jenna deeply studied the original character and approached the role with genuine respect. She brought something fresh to Wednesday while still honoring what made the character iconic in first place. That dedication paid off big time. Wednesday became a global phenomenon and broke viewing records for Netflix. Meanwhile, Rachel Zegler was catapulted to fame when she was cast as Maria in Spielberg's West Side Story, and then landed the coveted role of Snow White in Disney's live-action remake. It seemed like a dream start to a promising career, but things quickly took a turn as Snow White began production. Rachel started making comments that left Disney executives increasingly concerned. In interviews, she openly criticized the original 1937 animated classic, calling it weird and dismissing core elements of the beloved story. The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so, Rachel said in one particularly controversial interview. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. She added, weird. She went on to declare that her version of Snow White wouldn't be dreaming about true love, but instead would focus on becoming a leader. While this might sound aggressive on paper, it completely missed why generations of audiences have connected with Snow White in the first place. Even more shocking was Rachel's admission that she was scared of the original cartoon, claiming she watched it once and never picked it up again. For many fans, this felt like a slap in the face, an actress taking on an iconic role, while seemingly having contempt for the source material. Compare that to Jenna Ortega's approach to Wednesday Addams. While also modernizing character, Jenna spoke repeatedly about her respect for the original and her desire to honor what made Wednesday special. The contrast couldn't be more stark. One actress embracing a legacy she was building upon, another dismissing it behind closed doors. Both actresses were reportedly approached for a secret Disney animation project codenamed Blue Wave. This ambitious film was meant to be Disney's answer to Shrek, bringing together various fairy tale characters in one universe. According to industry insiders, the project took a controversial approach, heavily focusing on gender-swapping traditional characters. When Jenna learned about the direction, she reportedly had serious concerns. In a rare moment of Hollywood honesty, Jenna has spoken out about the trend of gender-swapping established characters instead of creating new, original, strong female roles that I love that there's a lot more female leads nowadays. I think that's so special. But we should have our own. Jenna said in an interview, I don't like it when it's a spin-off. I don't want to see, like, James Bond as a woman. I want to see just another badass. This principled stance allegedly led to Jenna walking away from Blue Wave, choosing integrity over what would have been a major paycheck. Meanwhile, Rachel was reportedly fully on board with the project's direction, creating tension between the two rising stars. The contrast between their approaches became even clearer as Snow White's production troubles mounted. After Rachel's controversial comments and growing backlash, Disney faced increasing pressure. The film's budget reportedly ballooned to over $200 million, making it one of the most expensive fairy tale adaptations ever made. Yet despite the massive investment, insider reports suggested the studio was deeply concerned about the film's prospects. Those concerns proved justified when Snow White finally released. Despite IMAX screens and a massive marketing push, the film struggled to connect with audiences. Critics called it soulless, and fans stayed away in droves. In its second weekend, box office numbers collapsed by over 50%, a disaster for a film with such a massive budget. Meanwhile, Jenna Ortega's star continued to rise. While Rachel was dealing with the Snow White fallout, Jenna was taking risks with projects like Death of a Unicorn, an R-rated horror comedy with Paul Rudd. Though not breaking box office records, these choices were building Jenna's reputation as a serious actress with impressive range. But here's where Rachel's troubles really began. Disappointing performance. Rachel reportedly began struggling to land new roles. Industry insiders whispered that studios were hesitant to cast her, fearing her controversial statements might alienate audiences. In what many saw as a desperate move, Rachel publicly campaigned for a role in the Star Wars universe, using the bizarre justification that her initials RZ matched an RZ-1A wing starfighter from Star Wars lore. Is a fan of the comics. I would like to throw my hat in the ring to voice Shara Bay, mother of Poe Dameron, because her ship was an RZ-1, my initials, she posted. Fans quickly mocked this reasoning, seeing it as a transparent and somewhat desperate attempt to land a role in a major franchise. Serious actors typically don't campaign for roles by pointing out coincidental initial matches. They let their work speak for itself. The final blow came when Rachel was reportedly dropped from Paddington 3. While the official reason given was scheduling conflicts due to the actors' strike, industry insiders noted that many other SAG actors remain attached to the project. The timing, right after the Snow White controversy, suggested there might be more to the story, that Rachel's political statements further complicated matters. After posting Free Palestine on social media during a particularly tense period in Middle Eastern politics, Rachel faced both support and significant backlash. While actors certainly have a right to express their political views, the timing and manner of her statements created additional controversy around an already struggling career. In stark contrast, Jenna Ortega has spoken thoughtfully about the intersection of Hollywood and politics, noting that the industry's focus on being politically correct sometimes leads to a loss of humanity and integrity because it lacks honesty. This measured approach has helped Jenna avoid the kind of polarizing reception that has plagued Rachel. The industry has taken notice of their different paths. When Jenna was reportedly offered a role in Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean revival, she declined, another example of her selecting roles based on artistic merit rather than just big paychecks or franchise potential. While Rachel struggles to book new projects and deals with the fallout from Snow White, Jenna continues to be one of the most in-demand young actresses in Hollywood. Her principled stands and thoughtful approach to her craft have earned her not just commercial success, but also respect within the industry. What makes this contrast even more striking is how quickly their fortunes have reversed. Just 2 years ago, Rachel seemed poised for superstardom with back-to-back major roles, while Jenna was still building her resume with smaller projects. Today, Jenna has become a cultural icon, particularly among younger viewers who appreciate her authenticity, while Rachel faces an uphill battle to rebuild her reputation. Sources close to Disney have hinted that executives were particularly frustrated by what they saw as Rachel's lack of appreciation for the opportunities she'd been given. When you're cast as an iconic Disney princess, there's an unwritten rule that you become an ambassador for that character, said one unnamed studio insider. Mitchell's comments made that impossible. The Wednesday team, meanwhile, has reportedly been thrilled with Jenna's commitment to her character. Not only did she master cello playing and fencing for the role, but she also fought behind the scenes for Wednesday to remain true to her dark, macabre roots when some producers suggested lightening the character to appeal to broader audiences. This fundamental difference in approach has created a fascinating case study for young actors navigating Hollywood. While Rachel seemed to position herself as someone who wanted to fix problematic classics, Jenna embraced the idea of evolution rather than revolution. The results speak for themselves. Industry veterans point out that Rachel missed something critical. Audiences don't typically watch Snow White because they're seeking modern political commentary. They watch it for the timeless fairy tale elements, the beautiful animation, and yes, the romance. By dismissing these core elements as outdated or problematic, Rachel inadvertently dismissed the very audiences she needed to win over. There's also a lesson here about the power of authenticity. In numerous interviews, Jenna comes across as genuinely herself, thoughtful, sometimes awkward, but always honest. When she criticizes industry trends, it feels rooted in artistic integrity rather than political posturing. Rachel, by contrast, has sometimes been accused of performative statements designed to position herself as progressive, which can come across as calculated rather than authentic. Some industry analysts believe Rachel's approach represents a larger trend in Hollywood, where some actors view their roles as platforms for activism rather than storytelling. While there's nothing wrong with holding strong political views, audiences can sense when performance becomes secondary to making a point. Entertainment, at its core, needs to entertain, a fact that seems obvious but is sometimes forgotten in the rush to appear relevant. What's particularly interesting is that both actresses are known for their strong social media presences, but they use these platforms very differently. Jenna shares glimpses of her life and work without manufactured controversy. Rachel's posts have sometimes seemed calibrated to generate headlines, which worked initially, but may have backfired as perception shifted from bold and outspoken to difficult and ungrateful. The video moment that started this conversation, Jenna being ignored by Rachel, takes on even more significance now. Looking at their body language, you can see Jenna genuinely trying to connect, while Rachel's dismissive turn away feels symbolic of how she turned away from the legacy of the characters she was playing. That single moment encapsulates the essence of their different approaches to stardom. It's worth noting that Jenna has faced her own controversies, including rumors of disagreements with Wednesday producers and criticism for filming while sick during the pandemic. But she's weathered these storms more successfully because she's built a reservoir of goodwill with both fans and industry executives. When you're known for your professionalism and respect for your craft, people are more willing to give you the benefit of the doubt. Casting directors have taken notice too. "There's a reason Jenna keeps getting these interesting, complex roles," said one casting director who requested anonymity. "Directors know she'll put in the work and respect the material. That goes a long way in this business." Rachel isn't without supporters. Some industry voices have defended her, suggesting she was unfairly made the scapegoat for Snow White's troubles when the real issues were with the script and direction. Others point out that at just 23, she's still finding her footing in an industry that can be brutal to young women who speak their minds. But the contrast in their current career trajectories is undeniable. While Jenna has her pick of projects, with directors reportedly writing roles specifically for her, Rachel is in a period of career recalibration. Her team is reportedly advising her to take smaller, character-driven roles that might help audiences see her acting skills divorced from controversy. There's another layer to the story that few have discussed: the role of studio executives in creating these situations. Disney cast Rachel knowing she,